Good afternoon, dear ladies and gentlemen, and dear guests. On behalf of joint stock company Rosoboronexport, I would like to welcome you here at the AMI 2022 International Military Technical Forum. So we are now at the chalet, demonstration chalet of Rosoboronexport, and those who are present are quite happy because they can have a look around and see how many interesting equipment we have here, including small arms grenade launchers, even some special equipment like this information security software. But for those who cannot attend this forum, who cannot attend this presentation, we are making a broadcast online. So special thanks to those who are watching us online in YouTube. Today, I would like to make a presentation on the 9K 515 300mm multiple rocket launch system. It is, as probably some of you know, it is made on the basis of the 300mm Smerch multiple rocket system, a well-known system all over the world. Actually, Russia is, I think it can be said that it's a motherland of rocket artillery as a thing, as a principle. So that's why we're doing our best to develop new systems, to integrate new solutions into rocket artillery. Why we are saying about rocket artillery? So actually, rocket artillery have so many advantages compared to other types of weapons, air-launched weapons or missile systems. They can be used for engagement of the same targets, but they have different advantages. And first of these advantages is obviously cost effectiveness, because rocket projectiles or even guided missiles used with the 9K 515 cost less than you have to pay for operating missile systems, or when you have to maintain the aviation crew, the aircraft crew for the same missions. Also, MRLS, they cover a huge area, so they can be used to engage different types of targets altogether. They are not dependent on weather conditions, as for example, air-launched munitions. They have certain limitations when they cannot be used. This is not the case with the 9K 515. So, as I said before, this is the new version based on the Smerch system, and mostly the designation of the system remains the same. So the 9K 515 was designed for engagement of infantry, tank, artillery, missile units, but also for destruction of different weapon formations, for different weapon installations in their deployment areas on the march, moving, stationary, and also to destruct infrastructure and military facilities. It can be air bases, it can be airfields, it can be some industrial things. The composition of the system, of course, this is a system that includes several elements. So first of all, it includes the launching vehicles, so the vehicles that actually launch missiles and rocket projectiles. Then goes the transporter loading vehicles, and there are two types of ammunition used. So this is the standard Smerch 300mm rocket projectiles, as well as new guided missiles. And, well, some arsenal equipment as well. We are not... Probably some of you who know the Smerch system would be surprised that we're not giving command and control vehicles as the integral part of the system, or some meteorological station as the integral part of the system. And why we're doing it? Because the 9K 515, when designers were developing the system, so they thought of the great autonomy of the system. So they wanted to make it more independent than the traditional rocket systems. So they've introduced certain equipment to the launcher entrance loader that make it possible to use these vehicles independently up to the battery level without the command post vehicle or any meteorological and positioning systems. But again, for the users of the smeared system, we can say that if they already have smeared systems, the command and stuff vehicle that they already have and the positioning and meteorological complex that they have can be upgraded and used with the 9K515 system. I already mentioned that this is the smeared system originally, but not it. Let's speak about the improvements, the advantages of the 9K515. And first of all, this is the introduction of new ammunition. So now, rocket artillery, they use guided missiles. This is a huge advantage. First of all, in terms of firing accuracy. So we can say that the firing accuracy has been increased by up to 15 times, by the factor of up to 15, depending on the task. And the range of the guided missiles is 120 kilometers compared to the standard smeared rockets that were going as far as 70 kilometers. One of the advantages of the system as well, it should be noted because it's very specific, is that the salvo of a launcher can be distributed while the standard smeared systems, they cannot send all the salvo, like 12 rockets. They would send them virtually to one area against one target. But the 9K515, they introduced the special flight mission for every guided missile, so they can be sent to different targets, as is shown right here. So one and the same vehicle, not moving, not changing position of the launching pack, they send it to different locations against different targets. Let's look at this picture once again. So this is another advantage of the 9K515 compared to the smeared system, is that the number of personnel involved in the operation of the system has been drastically reduced, and it's like 5 times fewer. Why we're saying this, that let's look at these pictures. So we have 3 different targets and we have to engage them. So using a smeared system, we will need 3 different launchers. So, and this means 3 transloader vehicles and all the ground stuff that's needed. For the 9K515 to engage, so this is with the smeared system, this is how many vehicles, how many staff, how many personnel we need to engage the system. For the 9K515 to engage 3 targets, we need just 1 launcher with 3 people of crew, and also 1 transloader vehicle, again with 3 people of crew. The advantages, the improvements were made to in terms of time procedures. So now the full salvo of the 9K515 is only 33 seconds, and 75 seconds is the readiness time upon receipt of all the necessary data. We're talking about these guided missiles that were introduced, and yes, they're the basic, the core of the new system. This is the composition of the system. First of all, I would like to draw your attention to the fact that the weight and dimensions of the new guided missiles are the same as the rocket projectiles used for the smeared system. And I think this is a great solution because obviously it has really a lot of advantages. So first of all, you can use the same existing smeared facilities. You can use the same combat vehicles. You can use the same launchers. You can use the same transloaders for these new guided missiles. So you have, there's no need to change the artillery part, the launching pack assembly. And also the unification of the rocket projectiles and the new guided missiles in terms of the propulsion system and the stabilizing unit. This is the question how the designers, the developers made this through, because the weight and the dimensions are the same. So the propulsion system is the same. So they use the same solid rocket, solid propellant. but how they achieved bigger ranges, higher accuracy. So this all goes with the improving aerodynamic efficiency of the missile, and also the flight control along the entire flight path of the missile. So as you see, this is the standard canard configuration of the missile. It has rudders in the frontal part that ensure the gliding descent on the downward trajectory of the missile. And also the algorithms implemented for flight control of this missile, this correction of the missiles, make it possible to compensate for the missile takeoff drop at the initial stage, and also help it achieve both minimum ranges and maximum ranges, meaning that at the minimum, while achieving minimum ranges, so they provide for the steep angle of fire and deep dive, and the gliding descent mode for the maximum ranges. Let's pick more of the missiles. Here we have a short video how it's been assembled. Missile guidance system, missile guidance control unit is based on the strap-down inertial navigation system, making use of the newly developed fiber optic gyroscopes with low wind drift. I know it's a bit complicated, but for those who know what I'm talking about, that's probably an advantage. This inertial navigation system communicates with the onboard satellite navigation receiver, GLONASS and Navstar. And so on the powered flight trajectory, the control unit executes pitch and yaw programs and ensure flight to the aiming point and the preset range. On the free flight leg of the flight, the control unit executes the preset normal and lateral accelerations for the missile. Once again, I would like to say that the control unit operates through the entire flight of the missile. And it also ensures that the missile approaches the preset point where the warhead is, the cluster warhead opens, and it spins the missile immediately before the opening of the warhead for better destruction of targets. As I said, there are two types of new guided missiles that were introduced. The first is 9M544 shape charge fragmentation submunitions warhead. They have the same weighted dimensions, as I said, of the Smerch missiles, so they're 828 kilos of weight, and the ranges are 30 kilometers the minimum and 120 kilometers as the maximum range. The designation, as is evident, I guess, from the name of these guided missile, it is shape charge fragmentation, so it is mostly destined to destroy, to engage soft skin or armored vehicles, material, manpower, shelters, fortifications, but it can also be used to destroy infrastructure, facilities, military and industrial. The number of submunitions is 72, weighing 1.75 kgs each submunition weighs, and the preformed fragments is 400. No, I'm not saying. Sorry, that's not this this rocket. This is another missile. So this is a 552. It's a smaller submunition type. It's the shape charge. We can see the submunition. That's actually how it looks. Though it's a shape charge. It's 552 of them, weighing roughly 300 grams each. And the penetration facility for the armor is at least 140 millimeters. So, and this is the 9M549 fragmentation cluster warhead, and this warhead has 72 submunitions, weighing 1.75 kgs. So this is how it looks. The explosive weight in one submunition is 320 grams. So this is the appearance of the warhead in assembly and the submunition. As for the launcher itself, I said that it was based on the SMERCH system, and evidently so it looks quite similar to the SMERCH system. For those who want to see it personally, you can visit the Patriot Park Static Exhibition, outdoor exhibition. There is this one, and also we have a model of the SMERCH system here in our chalet, so please welcome. So evidently from the outlook, it looks perfectly normal for the SMERCH system, but it includes lots of different systems. And first of all, it's the automated guidance and fire control system that's been introduced. Also the ground preparation and launch equipment control panel that's in the cabin, but also the command generator is installed on the launching tube assembly. So as I said, flight missions are introduced into every missile while they are in the launching tubes. All this equipment, satellite navigation systems, targeting consoles, whatever, they provide for independent positioning of the 9K515 and survey. So they automatically transfer data to and from command and control posts. They calculate all the firing data and input them into the launching tubes, so into the missile's guidance control system. They do all the preparations. They aim the launching tubes and start, and deliver fire. They can fire single rockets or missiles. They can fire partial or full salvo. And all the operations are done from within the cabin. So now the crew doesn't have to come out of the vehicle to do all the operations. And also the system is now it's automatic and it cannot be operated day and night, so it has special night vision devices. It can be operated in any season, in any weather conditions, be it rain, snow, smoke, whatever. Also for the better conditions of the crew, there is an air conditioner installed. Now they have the new generation communication system and other perks that make the life of the crew better. Let's watch how this system operates. The main specifications of the 9K515 are actually, quite similar to that of the SMERCH system. It is a 12-tube vehicle, the same weight of the vehicle, of the launcher. But as you can see now, the chassis are very, boast very high cross-country performance. So they were not actually changed, I guess, from the SMERCH system because they're really good. The power-driven tube assembly can be elevated to the angle of 55 degrees, while in the azimuth, the horizontal firing angle is 60 degrees, 30 degrees to the left or to the right of the central line. As I said, the main mode of operation of the vehicle is indirect fire when the crew is inside the cabin. But here in this video, we see that it can also be operated remotely when the crew leaves the vehicle and somewhere from a safe distance, they can operate it. And a few words about transloader vehicles, transporter loading vehicles. They also are based on the same chassis that were used for the SMERCH system, but they also have several modifications. Several systems were introduced, like satellite navigation system was introduced. So now the transloaders can be operated autonomously, independently, without the need to communicate with a command post or with other ground stations. That's why they have better survivability and they are more independent. So what else? They also have the air conditioning system, new generation communication systems as well. So they're now on a par with the launcher. What should be said is that 9K515 systems can be newly produced as the new system, or the Smerch 9A52-2 launchers and corresponding transloading vehicles can be upgraded to the level of 9K515. And they can be used to launch guided missiles as well. I can say that the 9K515 is a system that incorporates like all the best from the Smerch system, but at the same time it moved rocket artillery to a high level, to a new level, to make it more accurate, to fire farther. So now actually the Smerch system is more of a short-range ballistic missile system in terms of its performances. To learn more about the 9K515 system, I would like to, for those present, you can visit the demo pavilion of Rostec State Corporation, where you will find even full-size models of these new guided missiles, and there you will be able to learn more, to learn everything from the specialists that are there. For those who are on the other side of the screen, for those who are watching this presentation online, I would like to say thank you. And if you are not still following us, then you certainly should subscribe immediately, because you will miss out on so many interesting things. So thank you very much. Thank you for being here with us, with Rosoboronexport, and enjoy your stay at the Army 2022.